Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this webinar on consideration for building and delivering an automated software data retention strategy. My name is Gal, and I'm a Senior Product Manager on the DevOps core team here at JFrog, where I lead efforts on retention-related solutions, and I'm also a proud member of the Artifactory team, together with an amazing group of people focusing on delivering exceptional products that truly meet the needs of our customers. In this 20-minute session, I'm going to cover why you need a strategy for software retention, what software data retention policies cover, consideration for building your retention policies, and a short demonstration of how JFrog make it easy to implement an automated retention approach. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So as you probably know, software organizations today are measured by their ability to ship quality software and fast. As such, developers are pushing new builds and releases every day, every hour, very much similar to this cute cat over here. Over time, those incremental builds and releases add up wherever you store your artifacts and packages, and if you let them build up, they can start to bog down your processes and really impact the overall system efficiency. However, you can't just start and delete stuff. This is due to internal rules, external regulations, and the fact that your developers need access to some of those artifacts. So if this case sounds familiar to you, seems like you really need a retention strategy. The goal of software data retention strategy is to ensure you can comply with regulations while maintaining productivity. And if it's done right, it allows you to keep what matters to your organization and remove the rest. With software retention policies, organizations can now determine how long software assets should be maintained and kept by an organization, either in the operational systems or archives. Those policies can be broken down into two main policies types. One is the cleanup policies and the other is the archival policies. Cleanup policies basically dictates when to remove stale and unneeded artifacts and their metadata from storage and databases, and they are cleaned permanently. Archival policies define when to move artifacts and their metadata from operational repositories into a dedicated long-term archival. When you are creating a software retention policies and strategy, there are three main areas you must consider, which are regulations your organization is subject to, your SDLC process and workflows, and the resources available to your organization. Regulations will come down to both regional regulations and industry, and it includes the ones we highlighted earlier, but even things like EU's CRA as an example of regional framework you may need to follow. For your SDLC process, you must consider things like the frequency of incremental builds and how long it takes for a build to move across the SDLC to release until it becomes production ready. And of course, it may vary across teams. On the resource front, you will need to understand how much effort it will take to build and implement your policies and strategy. Particularly if you're doing it DIY, so how manual will it be, for example? Who will maintain it? How much cloud storage or server space will it take to archive all the required releases? What metadata is available to you to query and flag the right artifacts for cleanup or archival? Where can your existing tech stack help? And so on. If you are going on a DIY approach, there are a number of potential pitfalls to watch out for, particularly for archival, but also on the deletion. So if you do have an artifact management system, you might want to put everything in one repo for archival, but then it brings the concerns of usability, system performance, and of course the cost, which is not optimized. You might also decide to implement another server or instance of your artifact management system, but then it brings like maintainability overhead, complex restoration, and again the cost impact. Some will try to just put archived items in a dump storage, but then it brings the concerns of the metadata loss and the impractical restore process. Even for cleanup, by the way, if you're going with the manual delete route, there are a number of risks. So, for example, data loss and the regulation violation. Or you can go to a different route and leverage a solution built to help you move fast with confidence and compliance. So JFrog offers automated cleanup and smart archiving built into the artifact management approach, built into Artifactory. Those automated policies you configure once and they run automatically on the background without additional overhead. Those processes preserve all the context of the artifacts for more granular policy creation, as well as maintaining the integrity of the archive assets and simplified auditing. The restore process is seamless. It's a one-click process, and your assets can be archived and retrieved back into operation if needed. In terms of scale, so JFrog is built to scale. It doesn't matter if you have thousands of artifacts or millions. So it is supported. This offering also comply with additional enterprise-grade capabilities such as federated repositories and projects. Pairing cleanup and archiving helps also to optimize cost as you grow and leverage dedicated low-cost storage. So also from cost perspective, there are a huge benefit with the smart archival solution. And most of all, it's safe with dry run capabilities and for cleanup, configurable trash can emptying. So it's safe and secured. A final point on archiving with JFrog is that our archiving solution is done as a service. It means that JFrog takes care and full ownership for maintaining your archive in the cloud. So there's no infrastructure headache involved, no additional overhead or maintenance from the customer perspective. So let's jump into a quick demo to see how it actually works. So as you can see, I'm in the Artifactory preview, and I have here a Maven repository, Maven local repository with, in this case, 2 packages of my sample projects and with 2 versions, 1.0.0 and 2.0.0. I will try to apply an archive policy that will take effect on this on this repository. So I'll go to the administration module and then to Artifactory setting, retention policies. Over here, there is the cleanup section and the archive. So on the archive, there is all the previously configured policies, the runs and the restore runs. I will create a new archive policy. I will give it a short and meaningful name. Here I can select the included projects that will be covered. I can select to apply it for the entire system. I will select the package type. Then I will select this explicit repository. I can also mention it by a pattern. I will include all the packages that are stored in this repository. So this was the first part of the policy configuration. It applies to the policy scope. The second part is related to the policy conditions that will take effect on the scope. And here I can select time-based conditions or version-based conditions. So time-based conditions are referred to age and usage criteria, and version-based conditions are referred to the number of latest versions I would like to keep. So here I would like to keep the last one version, meaning that 2.0.0 should be kept, and 1.0.0, which is the legacy one, should be archived. On the additional settings section, I can set a cron expression in which I want the policy to be triggered automatically, and I can set a maximum run duration to limit the maximum duration of the policy, and I can select if I want the archived artifacts to be to skip trash can or not in the operational instance. Then I will save the policy, and the policy will be created in a deactivated mode under the policy sub-tab. Now, once it was created, it will not start running because it's deactivated, but I can trigger a dry run. Once I will perform a dry run, the dry run will be executed, and once it is completed, there will be a report generated automatically after the run completed. I will be able to download it as a CSV. And then review it. Once I will be able to review it, so I get to see the outcome of the diagram itself with the detailed explanation and listing of the packages that were processed. In this case, this is a single package version, my sample project 1.0.0, diagram completed successfully. So I'll go back here, and here I will select to activate the policy. So if there is a cron expression, configured, the policy will be triggered automatically on the next iteration. And if not, I can just run it manually by clicking the Run Now button. Then the archive run will happen. And once it is completed, I will be able to see the status over here. And also on the runs tab, together with all the previous runs, I will be able to see the run status and the actual outcome of the policy. So I can see that 1 out of 1 package was processed with the total size of the reduced storage. I can also download the report here and see the results. If I will navigate back to the tree view, I will be able to see that under Maven, there is now only the latest versions, and the other one was moved back to archive. Once the archived package is required and need to be retrieved, so it is possible to go to the global search and then click on the archive entry. On the archive entry, I may perform search on the archive, and then I'll get the results. I will see that my sample projects and this version for Maven repository that was archived today is here. I can select it. I can restore it back. I can restore it back to the original location or to a new location. I will select to restore it to the original location, but then I will need to provide a fallback location in case the original is not available. So I will provide a valid fallback location. Then the process is initialized. It will take some time, but once it is completed, I will be able to see it under the Restore tab. And I can see that it is completed today. And there is also a report that generated here and listing the results of the run with all the details included. If I'll go back to that review, I will be able to see that it came back here, and now it is available for use. So I believe this is it. It was a pleasure to introduce you JFrog retention offering and the strategy for data retention. Hope to see you on our next meetups, and feel free to reach out with any response. Thank you very much for your time. See you.